He's 3 law firms on retainer. I don't know how much money is coming in, but I know that a lot of money is going out every single month.
You know, we all know who he is and how we get down, so that don't surprise me.
We never thought we'd actually hear it. Not in our wildest late-night binge sessions, not after years of so-called sightings in Havana, or every TikTok theorist flashing blurry selfies like proof of life. But here we are. Tupac's own brother just blew up the internet's timeline. No, this isn't some prank. No, this isn't a meme. Multiple insiders are swearing on their lives that the Shakur family filmed an interview where Mopreme, calm as ice, literally picked up the phone and dialed Tupac himself. And listen, we're not talking about some sketchy prank call from the back room of a dusty radio station. According to people who claim they were right there in the room, Tupac answered, alive, breathing, calm as ever. And here's the kicker. He didn't just say, what's up, or talk about the weather in Cuba. According to insiders, Tupac promised he'd appear soon to testify against the people who tried to end him. Yes, testify. Can you even imagine the chaos if this is true? It's the kind of revelation that makes your stomach drop. Is this the real twist ending to hip-hop's greatest tragedy? Or just another smoke bomb in a world already drowning in clickbait?
But Puffy called me, though. Puffy called me back in the day. He called me, he was like, I just want you to know I ain't have nothing to do with your brothers.
And that's where the real tension explodes. For almost 30 years, everyone, record label interns, conspiracy authors, diehard fans, has been trying to decode what went down that night in Vegas. Picture it. Tupac, just 25, sitting in the passenger seat next to Suge Knight. They had just left the glowing lights of the MGM Grand. And then, bullets. A black BMW. Sirens wailing as the Strip's neon blurred into chaos. We heard his mother's heartbreaking words. We read the coroner's report. We stared at the infamous autopsy photo. Fans picked apart every contradiction. Why wasn't Tupac wearing his vest that night? Why didn't anyone get a clear shot of the shooter's face on the busiest street in Vegas? Even today, almost nobody trusts the official story. Too many loose ends. Too much money and power at stake. And now, decades later, here's Mopreme Shakur, sitting in a studio, his eyes sharp, his voice steady, raising the possibility that maybe, just maybe, everything we thought we knew is dead wrong.
I just get right on the side of his head and just start talking to him in his ear. Just talking.
And what's chilling? Mopreme never cracks. His face doesn't twitch. His voice doesn't tremble. He doesn't break into tears or rage. Instead, every word feels like he's carefully unwrapping secrets he's carried since childhood. Secrets heavy enough to rewrite hip-hop history. And then comes the bombshell. According to the leak, Tupac himself, through that phone call, dropped the ultimate promise. He's alive, and he's ready to testify. But testify against who? That's the radioactive part, because if even one shred of this is true, there's one man in America who should be losing sleep. Sean Diddy Combs.
That's Puffy's homie. You know what I mean? They have a relationship. They're friendly. They know each other.
Let's not sugarcoat this. Diddy has been at the center of whispers for years, sometimes accused directly, sometimes slyly alluded to, sometimes brushing it off while flexing diamonds in his music videos. But now, Diddy's nightmare is here. He's facing racketeering charges. He's entangled in a massive human trafficking trial. He's been denied bail. Over 100 alleged victims are pointing fingers at him, accusing him of masterminding an empire built on coercion and exploitation. And just when you think it can't get worse, prosecutors admitted in open court that one of their key witnesses has vanished. The defense is sharpening their blades, painting the accusations as nothing more than consensual freak shows. But the prosecutors, Homeland Security, federal agents, they don't look convinced. If the feds get their way, Diddy could spend the rest of his life behind bars. So the absolute last thing he needs right now is a headline screaming that Tupac himself just RSVP'd to testify.
Named Diddy 77 times in court documents related to Tupac.
And this isn't just Mopreme's suspicion. The name Diddy has popped up again and again in sworn police interviews, in wiretaps, in transcripts thicker than a phone book. Take Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the former Compton gang boss now facing trial for the Vegas shooting. Prosecutors say Keefe D. confessed multiple times that Diddy offered him millions to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. Keefe D's story is blunt. After Tupac dropped Hit 'Em Up, torching the East Coast and aiming fire straight at Bad Boy Records, Diddy snapped. Keefe D claims Diddy told him flat out, "I'll give anything for that dude's head." Not in private either. He says this went down in front of dozens of people. According to Keefe D, the cash flowed through an associate named Zip, who pocketed the alleged bounty. His words? "We was like, damn, we can get paid now." Court records show Diddy's name came up 47 times in the police transcripts. That's not just whispers, that's a legal trail. And now, even some of Diddy's most loyal fans, the ones who swore he was untouchable, are starting to hedge their bets. This story has shifted from platinum records to missing witnesses, wiretaps, and judges denying bail over and over again. Bail. The world is watching, and Diddy looks more rattled now than he ever did on stage.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? if the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're gonna cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he had to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70, that's when they start talking about letting him.
Mopreme, meanwhile, is not cracking, not even a little. When Piers Morgan pressed him about Diddy's denials, Mopreme didn't rage, didn't cry, didn't lash out like the grieving brother everyone might have expected. He sat there, cool as stone, and said, "The truth is still yet to come out, so we're going to see." That line right there, calm, collected, deliberate, was chilling. It's like he knows something but refuses to spill until the timing is perfect. And when Morgan tried to corner him, do you think Diddy was lying? Mopreme just shrugged and dropped it cold. Quite possibly. And it's kind of looking that way in my opinion. The entire room froze. Those words weren't just casual shade. That was years of bottled-up suspicion leaking out at just the right moment. The Shakur family has always given Diddy's denials the side eye, but now they're done playing quiet. And it gets bigger because the Shakurs have brought in the big guns, celebrity lawyer Alex Spiro. Yes, the same Alex Spiro who just shredded the Alec Baldwin case into pieces and walked him free. This guy doesn't touch small-time clients. When Spiro steps in, it means war. And the Shakur family has just declared it. So where does this wild ride even lead? If Mopreme's phone call is legit, then Tupac Shakur isn't just the greatest rapper who ever lived. He's about to become the government's most explosive star witness. Suddenly, all those conspiracy theories that sounded too crazy in the 90s, Cuba sightings, Machiavelli clues, body doubles, cryptic album drops, they don't feel so insane anymore. Michael Nice, the bodyguard who swore he helped Tupac escape, always stood by his story. He said, "Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they the one that did it? 'Cause Tupac not gone. If he was, they'd be arresting those dudes for homicide." His words echo louder now than ever. Even Suge Knight, sitting behind bars, once smirked in an interview. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on an island. People laughed it off back then. But now, people are replaying that clip with goosebumps. And here's the thing, prosecutors are digging deeper than ever, and every layer they uncover makes Diddy's ground look shakier. If the old street rules still apply, then it's simple math. Everyone has a price. Everyone has a reason to either stay silent or finally talk. Keefe D is the prime example. Cornered, cuffed, desperate. He's already proven he'll spill when it serves him. And detectives are saying the same thing. The old code is broken. Loyalty dies when prison doors slam. Even Phil Carson, the retired FBI field chief, admitted recently that Diddy's legal nightmares and the Tupac case might not just be a coincidence. Think about it. Decades of silence cracking open now just as Diddy's empire burns? That's not random. That's a reckoning. And the leaks just keep pouring in. Court TV insiders whisper that the Shakur family has dug up new evidence. Things Las Vegas detectives somehow missed for decades. Diddy, of course, keeps brushing off the homicide accusations as ridiculous. But his name? It refuses to die. It's in police transcripts. It's in documentaries. It's even scribbled in the memoirs of men who claimed they were in the car that night. As one detective bluntly put it, it's the worst kept secret in Compton, and while nobody dares scream it in open court yet, the writing is on the wall. This isn't just smoke, it's a bonfire waiting for a match. Meanwhile, Diddy's world is collapsing around him. Federal raids hit not one, but two of his mansions. His chief of staff is being compared to Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes, that Ghislaine, accused of arranging his infamous parties. Lawsuits keep piling up like dominoes. Former friends, they're suddenly singing like canaries. Industry insiders, they're spilling tea faster than blogs can post it. And it's not just about Diddy anymore. Biggie's family is watching closely too. Remember, Biggie was gunned down just months after Tupac. The timeline is messy, the stakes are sky high, and the whispers are turning into shouts. And then, the ultimate chess move. The Shakur family's legal team, with Spiro at the helm, is reportedly preparing subpoenas. They're lining up wrongful death lawsuits. They're ready to drag the East Coast-West Coast feud out of the shadows and straight into federal court in 2025. Spiro doesn't do losing cases. If he's on board, then someone's empire is about to burn. Here's where it all gets downright cinematic. Nobody's talking on the record. Not Diddy's team, not Vegas police, not the U.S. Attorney's Office, not even Mopreme himself. But behind the scenes, the rumors are on fire. The Shakur family's investigators are out there hunting down witnesses, digging through old bank records, retracing every step from the Vegas Strip to the Caribbean. And the wildest part? Even the conspiracy theorists don't sound so crazy anymore. Every old breadcrumb, the posthumous albums, the Machiavelli liner notes, the suspiciously misspelled coroner's report, they've all been relit like gasoline on a flame. The question haunting everyone now, if Tupac really is alive, what's kept him hidden all these years? Was it fear, a secret deal with law enforcement, or the greatest long game in music history waiting for the perfect moment to burn it all down? What we do know, Diddy, once the king of champagne and diamond-studded music videos, is now the king of side-eye glances in a courtroom. Every legal expert agrees, if even a fraction of this sticks, his sentence will outlast his entire discography. And if Tupac steps into that witness box, game over. Could this be the unraveling of decades of lies? Could the world finally see who's been pulling the strings behind the scenes? The same story people used to dismiss as gangster fantasy, Diddy offering millions for Tupac's head, now echoes in courtroom documents and sworn statements. Prosecutors are desperate to break the silence, chasing money trails and paranoia that fueled the East Coast-West Coast war. And Diddy's lawyers? They're in full panic mode, scrambling to keep witnesses off the stand. But one phone call, recorded or not, could blow the lid off everything. If Tupac steps out of the shadows now, it won't just be explosive, it'll be nuclear. Diddy's career? Finished. His freedom? Gone. His fortune and legacy? Hanging by a thread. But let's not fool ourselves. Diddy might not be the only one sweating. If there really was a cover-up, if payoffs and backroom deals stretched higher than one mogul, then we're talking about the entire upper tier of the music industry trembling. This isn't just about a single beef. It's about decades of power, reputations, and fortunes collapsing in real time. Mopreem's interview is days away. Diddy's trial is reopening wounds coast to coast, and we're at the crossroads, where legends are either reborn or buried for good. Will we see Tupac's face, older but alive, stepping into the light for one last earth-shattering message? Or will powerful forces bury the truth all over again, just as it reaches the surface? Every rumor, every anonymous tip, every late-night legal move feels like the drum roll before the storm. And the question everyone's whispering, if Tupac is alive and watching all this, does he even feel safe anymore? Or is the greatest disappearing act in music history finally circling back to where it all began, with the most dangerous secrets on the verge of exploding? So now, it's on you. Drop your wildest theories below. Are you team Tupac is alive, or team this is the final gasp of hip-hop's greatest mystery? Because one thing's for sure, in the world of celebrity secrets, nothing ever stays buried forever.